Today I want to give you a rundown of HP's EliteBook 1040 G1, and this is a business class laptop that you can see here that looks like it's taken a lot of the design cues from HP's Envy line. It is incredibly thin and light. You can carry it around in your hand and not feel like it's a boat anchor that's going to weigh you down as you go from meeting to meeting throughout your day. And just to show you how thin and light it is, I'm going to reach back here and bring up my 2013 MacBook Pro. And as you can see, this is a 14-inch model. The MacBook Pro is slightly larger. And while it is arguable that the HP is just a touch thicker than the MacBook Pro, it is also far lighter, that extra inch. I don't know if it's what exactly is inside the MacBook Pro, but it feels like it's quite a bit heavier than the HP. And they haven't skimped on features though in trying to make this light. It's got roughly, I would say from real world use, about 6 hours of battery life. It's got on both sides, it's got USB 3.0 ports, so there's one there and one there. There's, or I guess rather that's the display port, and the USB 3.0 is there. Of course there's a headphone input, and this is for the ultra slim docking port here, which has a networking cable and VGA adapter if you don't happen to have a DisplayPort monitor or you're connecting up to an older projector or something like that. And this also has NFC built in, which I personally don't know what I would use it for, but it's a nice feature to kind of future-proof the laptop a little bit. Something else you will notice about this particular enterprise class laptop is that it's no slouch on speed. It's got a Core i5 processor, comes standard with this particular review unit anyway with 4 gigs of RAM. You can get up to 8, and it will support up to a 256 gig SSD hard drive. So all of that adds up to, it should boot up fairly quickly. I'm going to power it on here. I'm running the Windows 7 that came shipping on the device, but you could also install Windows 8 Pro should you choose to. It comes included in the box along with this ultra slim docker and of course the laptop and a power cord. And as you can see, apparently it installed some updates as I was shutting down, so not a real good demonstration of how fast it is because there's a Windows 7 update in progress here, but generally speaking this thing comes up really fast, and even as I said that, you're back to the login screen. So really quick boot time if you're coming from complete power down, which is what I had done. And the other thing that I think that is important to point out about this is that HP has done something that I think not many laptop vendors have done, and that is to make the keyboard spill-proof, which I will demonstrate by dumping a little water on there. And you can see the water is actually disappearing in between the keys, but it's supposed to drain out the sides, and that should mean that even with your laptop powered on, if you have an accidental spill, you're not going to destroy the laptop. Now, I don't recommend going out and intentionally dumping water as I just did, but it's a great thing to have if you've ever had a coworker or if you're a little clumsy yourself and maybe you spilled some water on something. Now, of course, you don't have to be in the enterprise to take advantage of this particular HP laptop. You can order it for small business use. I think you can even get it for personal use should you choose to order through HP's site. And the great thing about it is that this is something that I have actually seen show up on corporate purchase order options, so that if you work for a big company, you may be able to choose this laptop, which looks and feels a whole lot like a lot of the elegant laptops that have been out in the personal computing market for quite a while, but the enterprise market has kind of lagged with some of those thicker form factors and lower screen resolutions. And that's something else I should bring up about this. This is a 1920 by 1080 screen resolution, which is better than pretty much any enterprise class laptop that I have seen on the market. Not as good as, say, the Retina display on a MacBook Pro, but the price point is also considerably lower than the MacBook Pro. For the IT folks, there's vPro built in, and of course any other remote administration that you would choose to do would also work with this laptop. Another thing I should point out is there is a Microsd slot in the side over here next to the USB 3 port, and that is significant because if you happen to have an Android phone that has an expandable memory slot, you can just pop the memory out of your Android phone, pop it right into the computer, and access it that way. or if you just want to expand beyond the 256 gigs of SSD storage that is available at the maximum in this model, you can add 128 gig SSD, and you've effectively added 50% more storage. So really, a whole lot of options here that can get you on your way to being able to have an enterprise computing experience that's pretty great. One last thing of note, that there is a fingerprint reader that is built in. So if you work in an IT environment where you're trying to discourage people using simple passwords, or if you just use this on your own and you hate typing in your password all the time, Fingerprint Reader is a great way to get around that, because you still get the security of using your fingerprint as your security device, and you don't have to remember anything, because at least I always keep my fingers with me, but you never know. There you have it. If you want a nice thin computer to carry around at work, this is definitely a great option. That 1920 by 1080 screen is perfect for pulling up things like Excel spreadsheets during meetings, and the keyboard has great action and is backlit, and as I just demonstrated, also spill proof. So great laptop that should last you for whatever the purchase cycle is within your organization. And maybe that's the downside of the water. You want to upgrade your computer, you can't accidentally spill something on it. But anyway, great computer, elegant design, and it's one of the best looking enterprise laptops I've seen in a long time.